Yeah, Dr. Tin, we will start.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just 1 minute. I will. So, yeah, Dr. Tin, we will start. Yeah, well, just 1 minute. I will. So, good evening to all. On behalf of the Department of Computer Science Engineering and the Research and Development Cell of RMK Engineering College, I welcome our chief guest, Dr. Tin Anh Tran. Good evening to all. Dr. Tin Anh Tran is the IEEE member and postdoctoral researcher, Seoul National University, South Korea. In 2018, he received his PhD degree at Wuhan University of Technology, Wuhan, China. He is an editor of 9 reputed journals indexed in SCI such as IEEE, Elsevier, Wiley, Springer, etc. He had been awarded the Chinese government scholarship and Neptune Prize for the outstanding researcher by Vietnam Maritime University. Additionally, he had been selected and awarded the NRF postdoctoral fellowship program for foreign researchers by the government of South Korea. I wholeheartedly welcome Dr. Tin for his session. Also, I welcome all the participants joined online for this guest lecture. Now over to Dr. Tin to start this session. Thank you. Dr. Tin, you may start now. Also, I welcome all the participants joined online.
Thank you, Dr. Pauja, and thank you all for.
Thank you. Dr. Tin, you may start now.
Yep. Thank you, all Dr. Pauja, and all the principal and all the CMK colleagues colleagues India, and so I'm very happy to share my my session. Now I will share my PPTs. So for this session, I'm very happy because this topic, I think, is a topic for this session very important for all researcher and all the professor and all the course in the world to want to research. Want to thank the research and development cell of VMKIC Department of Computer Science and Engineering, RMK Engineering College, and my topics for present reasons why research article not getting accepted. I'm Dr. Tin Anh Tran. I'm a researcher at the Seoul National University, Seoul City in South Korea. Now I stay in South Korea. I just want to start my session. Maybe this session is very short time because I also I will spend the nap time in the final stage to stay and to discuss with you with all the experience and all the professor in the MK Engineering College. My content about that is I just want to give some the brief question or speaker in the agents. A second pass, I want to say is the main pass, and the third, and give me some the recommendation and discussion, and then last time give me some the time for the question and answers. I'm the entrance. I'm very happy because now I'm come the Seoul National University, and before that I get the honorary professor at the Gangochias University, Eastern North India, and the assistant professor at the Vietnam Maritime University. I get the doctor degree in the Wuhan University of Technology in China, and the bachelor, master, and the bachelor engineering is the Vietnam Maritime University in Vietnam. I just want to say the main part. Why do manuscripts get rejected in journal? As you can see in the cycle for the review process about the journal. First things, the manuscripts will be submitted to journal, and then the rechecking by the editor and give some the initial decision. The initial decision will be maybe reject me for to not meet the requirement, and it accepts it for the under review process, and will be giving some the blind peer reviews, and blind peer review some the revision and some the answer from author and some the comment from the reviewer. So that's the reason is progress. And if the paper reject me after blind peer reviews in the final decision or not, when the paper will be given the revise. Revise will be the author will be revise and resubmit the journal, or get accept or reject, depend on the revision process. So as you can see, it's a process for to publish the journal. So very difficult. Many is difficult and takes more time from the review and from the broadcast and checking some anything else depending on the paper and the manuscripts to submit the journal. I want to give some the reason or causes needing to reject the manuscripts. First is the submitted manuscripts in our scope of journal. The first reason, the manuscripts in our scope of journal, that means the author cannot to check the carefully about the journal. And the second thing, the English language is poor. And not to meet the requirement, the initial condition for the public scientific paper on the international journal. Especially that the many the country in Asia, in Asia and the Africa. Yeah. And the third, the normative point in the quiz and next in the science methodology. And reasons, main reason to get the results of the manuscripts. And the fourth reason, author and researcher is not enough the intensive knowledge to the investigate and to write the research paper. That means the knowledge, the intensive knowledge of the researcher or authors not meet enough requirement for you to publish the research paper. The fifth and the last reason, the quality of research results are not meeting the requirement or high standards of the high grade ACE or high impact factor of journal indexed in the Web of Science, the SCI or SCIE. And to need the 5 reasons to just mean easy to get the results in the journal. Because as you can see, the review process, the money takes a long time and easy to get the result. So it means the acceptance rate of the high journal very lower, normally under the 30%. So that's my experience to give some reason, and maybe it is in this topic very the hot topic for researcher. I hope so. From my this session will be to improve the ability of the kids and of the researcher to write the paper. Find a reason. I just to give some the reason and some the how and why. The first reason is submitted microclips in our scope journal. Why? Is the editor of journal will be prejudged the title and the content of the research paper, where it is the corpus of journal. It's a mandatory step for all the manuscripts submitted in the journal. Because many the author cannot to check carefully about the journal and the detail of journal and edit the journal and so on. And the second thing, the English language is poor. Not to meet the initial condition of the scientific paper published in international journal, and the end of journal will be research the English language is writing the scientific paper. Is a mandatory of the international journal, so it's a reason. So 2 things: the corpus journal and the English very important for writing the research paper. If you want to get the accepted or not. So be careful about that. The 2 things. And the novelty point in the quiz or not in the scientific research paper. So the research of the editor, the content of research paper before inviting the authors or reviewer to evaluate the carefully is a mandatory from the journal, because many the research paper in not enough the novelty point of the writing the research paper. So that's so you need to take care more about doing some research and give some the novelty point and the state of the as methodology and the research design, and to check carefully about before submitted the journal. Yeah. So the author need to carefully about the content when you submit the journal, because it is depending on the accept or reject. I will give some the two reason. The next reason, in my opinion, the author or researcher did not enough the intensive knowledge in his field, investigative field. The quality of research result are not meeting the requirement or high standard of grade A or high impact factor journal in the top one or Q1s in this SCI or SCIE. It's almost the blank peer review process. So how to choose the professional, the right journal to submit? Maybe in the last time I says my experience to how to choose a journal, suitable journal to submit the paper. Before getting all of that, you need to carefully about the above points during some process and giving some the peer review process by the experts and the author. I need to has an intensive knowledge and to write the paper and to investigate the research field and the topics denoting on the research paper. It almost giving some the peer review process and the requirement to check the journal or index the suitable journal. I just want to give some recommendation and discussion. First thing, prepare carefully the manuscripts before submit the journal. So one sentence best is very short, very easy, but the work not easy, very hard work. Because carefully, what is carefully? How to prepare carefully before submit the journal? Just mean to check own thing, the quality of paper, and based on the supervisor or the professor has a knowledge, has a time, has a experience to write the paper, and they have experience to check carefully about the paper, and there are manuscripts when you submit the journal. And second thing, this is the guideline for author. The guideline for author you can see in the journal for the author, and to prevent out of scopes of journal. So, for example, I want to explain the second topics, the second thing, the read the guideline for author. So it is very easy, but sometimes almost the author not to check. For example, I want to share the For example, when to read the paper, in the one journal, the computer and electrical engineering. Right. First thing, you check the about the IMM scope. This carefully the IMM scopes of journal. For example, the title of journal, the computer and electrical engineering. As you can see, the impact of computer and now will be the revolutionary done in electrical engineering is a combine the computer with to apply and to utilize the electrical engineering. So it's the arm and scope of journal. And when you write the paper, you need to choose a suitable journal. The suitable journal will be depend on the arm and scope of journal when you submit the journal. And the author need to outline and highlight the keywords, for example, computer and electrical engineering. And two keywords for the arm and scope of journal. As you can see, the computer electrical engineering will be rapid publication topic research in the integration and computer technology. The third keyword, computer technologies. And the third, and computational technology, techniques, and electrical and electronic system. Yeah, some of the keywords. When you submit the paper, you need to read carefully the arm and scope of journal, and to choose the suitable journal. And the suitable journal with the journal, for example, the journal computer and electrical engineering or Elsevier will be has the impact factor 4.1, very high. I'm sure that is a top one journal. Yeah, either choose a first condition when you want to accept the paper, you need to choose a suitable journal. For that is the arm and scope and the quality of journal, the impact factor. Yeah. I want to come back in the presentation. In the two things, the recommendation from the author and the researcher need to prepare carefully and to read the guideline of the author. And the third recommendation about the corresponding author almost will be expert professor or lecturer to supervise and to ensure maintain the quality of the research paper before approving manuscripts to submit. And I suggest on to choose the corresponding author. The expert professor and supervisor of the student paper. So to control and to supervise the quality of research paper. And the fourth, the barrier language, a big issue in Asia countries. Or native speaker in English, so the collaboration should be here the international paper. For example, in Asia country, Vietnam, India, China, Korea, Japan, Singapore, Malaysia, and so on. Want to make more big Asia country need to make more collaboration with the Europe country and America country and Australia country and so on. To make the international cooperation, we have to improve the English language as well as to interchange and to exchange the experience. For to help the student get more some opportunity to internship like that. Because I have some the experience to travel international. China, Korea, India, Australia. So we need to improve the quality paper and as well as the research paper by the open the ones want to write the paper and get the accept from the journal so that will be much more collaboration. So it's the reason I come to some country like after get my PhD doctor degree in China. So I want to travel international to improve by myself. And the first country in the comes to Korea, South Korea, is Seoul National University to research and to train and to get some experience from some the professor in the South Korea and to compare the professor in China with the professor in South Korea and some the country and some the research projects as well. So I get some the experience when to travel is to South Korea. So in the future, I going to travel more and more some the country to get some the experience and to help the researcher and help the student to improve the to change everything depending on the develop the country Vietnam, India, in Asia country to promote equal with the country, Arab country like Americas or some Arab country, Germany and so on. To language, so that's in the short time just want to share my experience. I want to spend the next time for discussion the topic and some the point share next the testing device research is that especially some the university not get more some the fund and the support from the government. So very difficult if the university or college not has the testing device for support to research results. For example, when I come in when I study in Vietnam Maritime University, so the device is a poor, very the poor quality and the lack of some the modern device. But some university in same Vietnam, like Hanoi University of Science and Technology is the top one in technology. So they have the management modern device and the laboratory to support the research results. So manage the paper to publish from the Hanoi University of Science and Technology in Vietnam. So what's the difference? Is the support for the government as well as from the researcher is the university who will have responsibility to research and to develop from research design. But when I come to the China, it's same country, it's very labor with Vietnam. But the university, Wuhan University of Technology, is a big university because the government support manage the funding in projects, to manage the device for verifying the research design from the theoretical as well as some device. So some different. So either reason, so in China now is a powerful country in Asia to publish the paper. And when I come in South Korea, so it's a big country in Asia. Manage the funding and manage the modern device to support the research, so that's the manage the paper to publish it and accept it from the research designs. So either reason in thinking more about this, I want to develop some the developing country like Vietnam, India. So to promote from the university to get some more fund to help the researcher student to have the ability and have the good environment to research and to educate and to develop by yourself. And the sixth, the investigated topic are not meaningful to help manufacture and productive improvements. So almost the research design and to apply from the industrials and get some benefits from the research paper or research results from university institute, research institute. So for example, in Korea, we have some more research projects generating on the industrials. So we have to research and apply and utilize research design for the industry. So they will get some more funds. Yeah. So money is the thing. So I hope so will be discussed more and more after share some experience to travel international as well. And there are a lot of the eternal reason. So I just want to spend the next time to discuss and to get some of the question from the professor in the RMK College, India. Yeah. Thank you so much for the attention. And if you have any questions, can you send to me by email?
Yeah, Dr. Tin, I have a doubt. Actually, sometimes our manuscript passing editorial this thing verification, and it is going for the review. There itself, it is getting rejected, even though it is crossing the English valuation. Everything is fine. What may be the reason for that one?
For the review paper, right?
No, not review paper. It's a full paper only, article only, a research article. It crossed the editor level, but from the reviewers part, they decline. They are rejecting. What may be the reason for that?
Yep. Thank you for the question, Dr. Paulus. And you will get some the research from editor, not to get the blank, give you some the blank peer review, right? Yeah, I saw the results. Why?
Yeah,
The bank, yep, the bank peer review will be the manuscripts don't get under review process, right? And get the reject me from the editor, right?
okay.
Yeah,
So,
because it's a rejecting before before the paper will be sent to the reviewer. It means the get the under review process. You will the pre-checking by the editor. So the has some the reason. You get the reject me not to need to blank previews. I saw the reason. Yeah.
okay. Another question is, sometimes we will refer some papers that that paper may be 5-6 years older than the present time. By the time some reviewers comment that why you are using old papers, the paper may have good content. Even 5 years back paper also will have a good content, but still some reviewers are criticizing. What may be the reason?
Yeah. Thank you for the question. So either when you answer the comment from reviewer, right? And so some the discuss something almost for when I editor of the SCI took one journal, I almost the review invite some people. The reviewer has the experience. So if the suggestion from the review once is the resist and the review two is the accept, I will to give me some reviewer please to make some avenue about that. So when we to answer the comment from reviewer, so reviewer feel not satisfied the answer, so that you need to pursue the reviewer iterate the topics or iterate the research and iterate results, so that you need to give some the proof when you answer the comment from the reviewer. If not, you cannot to get the accepts from the reviewer. So reviewer do not certify your comment the answer, so that you will get the reject. You need to give some the proof about the comment about the answer, right? And give me some results, how to get the results. You say that the methodology is new, which new, and the even some the appointment and some the detail about that. What's the new of the methods? For example, it's the mathematics, or give you some the fuzzy logics, right? And some the statistical analysis methods, and so on. So they need to give you some the detail and prove by the answer the comment from reviewer. Okay. So sometimes it's a review the bank peer review process so very difficult. So it's the reason. So I give you some suggestion. Have some author has a correct author need to be in the supervisor. They have the experience or not. Cannot to accept, cannot easy to accept because it's a no the knowledge, the intensive knowledge research is a blind peer review process. When to answer the comment from reviewer, so that you need to give some the detail and the proof why the paper and the pursue the reviewer accepts the paper. Not easy, right? Because either reason I tell you just corresponding author need to be experts, experience to answer the comment from the reviewer.
Okay, next question I have is actually whether the full implementation is necessary or just a simulation result is enough to publish for the articles.
So I think you get some the need to prepare carefully the paper. Yeah, prepare carefully the paper when you before the submission or no. So that's the editor almost the experience. You change the only thing the language and the scientific paper and the contribution from the paper. When to check, if not, you need to ensure the quality of paper. Or not easy to get accepts. So that's you need to prepare carefully before submitted. Maybe spend at least 3 months or 4 months or 6 months to prepare paper and then to submit. Not easy, but you can give some of the detail about something when to submit the paper and to give me some of the updates requirement from the reviewer and reviewer comments, as well as to give some detail about the research results.
Yeah, suppose if you want to publish IEEE transaction, now we are publishing from our college, we are publishing paper in SCI index. But if you want to convert, means go into IEEE transaction, what are all the additional things we have to add in addition to SCI indexed papers?
Yeah. Thank you so much for your questions and suggestion. And you want to publish the paper, almost you need to measure the quality of the paper and to submit if the paper is not equal, is not able to publish the index SCIs, the one Q1, for example. So you need to choose suitable journal or Q2, right? So or corpus. So that's to get accepted, because how to measure in the quality of paper, you depend on the contribution of paper.
Any question from participants?
Sir, good evening, sir. I have a small clarification, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So this is Karthikeyan, the assistant professor from CSE department. My question is, sir, in nowadays, the papers which have the implementation strategy and the papers which are having a review papers, when comparing both the papers, implemented papers are getting accepted in a higher rate when compared to the review papers. It is just a myth, or is it something real which is happening, sir?
Yep. Thank you very much for your question.
Thank you, sir.
So, yep, very interesting question. Just you want to implement the paper with the reviewer comment. So that's you need to incorporate the comment of the reviewer, because you don't scare or don't be afraid of the comment of the reviewer, because almost the comment from the reviewer almost suggest the improve the paper. So you don't don't be afraid of about just the comment of the viewer. So if you afraid that you cannot to answer the comment of the viewer, so you need to implement and this carefully the is the comment of the each viewer. So just to give some the point and to pursue the reviewer that that is my right point. So you give me some rule, which rule that you decide and give some statement just about the sentence of the paper. So that's which the rule why you give it some statement in this paper. So you need to implement something the comment from the reviewer. So that's you feel that it's a comment from the reviewer helps you, right? Not to discuss with you.
Thank you, sir. Sir, one more question, sir. And is it actually necessary to include the demerits of the proposed mode in conclusion section, sir?
Almost very important to include the detail. For example, from when I editor, I someone to ask the author to need to acknowledgement. For example, acknowledgement why the paper gets accepted. First thing.
Okay.
The second thing, who support you to write the research paper? What's the data to collect? Who is support you? The funds, research funding to help the student, right? To research, to study, and they have the ability to write the research paper, because when during the research and to write the research paper, very takes long time. At least 3 months, 4 months, or 6 months, maybe 1 year. 1 year if the student is a student. So for me, I have experience. So I take the 3 months to finish the one paper, or 1 month if I have experience. So if the student, you need to take a long time, at least 6 months or 1 year, right? So you need to acknowledge, give some acknowledge in the paper to thank and the reviewer, the comment of the reviewer, editor, and the funder to help to conduct the research paper. And reference. So if reference is very important, because for example, when I editor, I always check the reference. The reference is relate on the research paper or not. And the self citation, and almost manage the author to by self citation by the previous paper published. So make some the high index. So I don't think it's not good. So so sometimes reference and depending on the paper or not, and acknowledgement. Yep.
Okay, sir. Sir, and follow to that, can we add the research contribution in our introductions or surveys also, sir?
Yep.
Informing about the research contribution which you had.
Yep. Very important, because the
Okay.
introduction, you need to give some of the contribution, because the overview, because the research paper maybe is 15 pages or more, right? So you need to contribution, maybe the 2 sentence or 3 sentence to overview some of the research designs to contribute in the electrical engineering, for example, and the computer science. Yeah.
Okay, sir. One last question, sir. Sir, in the past decade, we had seen n number of domains taking over. So, which domain, according to you, you think that which has a higher future scope, sir?
So the Roman, so very important, because that's you need to, when you write a research paper, you need to focus on more on one domain, not more thing, because that's research paper, not the review paper. Because research paper not need to focus on intensive the knowledge, the one point, and need to get one domain or two domain.
Okay.
Yep.
Sir, sorry, one more last question, sir. Sir, adding our final results in our abstract, what we have implemented, adding our final results in the abstract, will it give more weightage to our paper, sir, or it is not advisable to give our results in the abstract itself, or what can we do with that, sir? Can we
Yep.
give our final result in the abstract so that it can give more weightage to our paper?
Thank you for the question. The abstract is very important, not easy. Not easy. In some journal, some research paper, some author write them non abstracts. So when you submit the requirement, require the 100 and 115 questions for abstracts, very short. So when you write the abstracts, very carefully about to write the abstracts, because the abstracts very the short sentence to give some the intensities and some words. For example, research results and novelty points and the contributions. That's all. You mean what is the novelty point of methodologies? What are the research results and what's the significance to contribute in the field? That's all. So to write the short abstracts, very important. Not need to write non-based. Yep.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for patiently answering. Thank you.
No worries.
Any other questions?
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sir. Good evening, sir. Sir, either review or an editor has given priority to an article or an abstract, sir.
For I'm reviewer, I'm a editor. So in my opinion, so almost to more and more contribute some knowledge and to improve the research paper. Because I'm a reviewer, I'm editor, so I have some to help the author. Because or not help the author, not to need to go in the middle of the author and the reviewer. So that's to need to support the author, almost support the author. If the author not improve the paper, so that cannot to accept the paper. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you. So one more question, sir.
Yeah.
Can you suggest some tools for an article conversion, sir, according to journal format?
Almost no need to format following the journal paper, the journal. For that, they need to reach the guidelines for art. And some of the paper, some of the journal need to give some of the official formats of the journal. So first thing, just you need to focus on the quality of the paper, and the second thing, the references. Reference in the when you cite in the mistakes in the alphabetics or the number. That's all.
Okay. Yep. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, actually, when we write an article, the literature review section, we will put the papers whichever is necessary to get our idea. But some reviewers suggest that we are limiting the papers there. Can't you add more papers? What is the reason behind that one? If it is not necessary, why we have to add more paper?
Yeah. For some reviewer, some review pass, right? Some reviewer pass some reviewer, some giving some the comment about that the reviewer and ask some not the paper to size the is the manuscripts. So when I'm editor, I will to remove some of the comment and some of the comment of the reviewer, and require the author to sign some of the document, not signating on the paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Any questions? If no other questions, then I invite Dr. Geeta to propose the vote of thanks. Dr. Geeta, please. Dr. Geeta? You are not audible. You can increase the volume of the speaker. Madam, you are not audible, madam. Can you hear me, madam? Yes, madam.
Good evening to all.
Yes. Madam, go ahead, madam.
Good evening to all. It has been such an honor to be a part of this wonderful event. On behalf of all present, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guest, Dr. Tian Anh Tran, postdoctoral researcher, Seoul National University, South Korea. Thank you, Dr. Tian, for sharing valuable information to prepare a manuscript for the possible publication in reputed journals. My sincere thanks to our management for giving a permission to arrange such an unique event. I wholeheartedly thank our principal, Dr. K.A. Muhammad Junaid, for his support and encouragement to organize this event. I also thank Dr. T. Sedukarasi, Head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, and Dr. Geeta Ramadas, R&D Cell Coordinator, for their support. A wide round of applause and thanks to all the coordinators who made this event a memorable one. Finally, I would like to thank all of you present here and make this event a grand success. Thank you all.
Thank you, Tian. Dr. Tian, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman, Vice Chairman, and Principal, and Dr. Pausas, and Amaki Konis. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Karthikeyan.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, I'll end the session now, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay.